Hey there, chicken nuggets. Sorry I'm not here today. It is one of those weekends that we needed to get away. Uh, Most of you may probably know or may not know that my mom was diagnosed with cancer recently, and so me, Sarah, and my girls have all gone to visit her, see her before anything gets worse. So I really do ask you to be praying for my mom, be praying for Sarah's dad, and we've got some upcoming stuff with Kinley. She's got a surgery 2 days before our first week of camp, and so be praying for her if you would. Today we're going to talk about we're going to talk about being light in darkness. If we're really honest, most people don't like to be in the dark. In fact, if you want to, you can go ahead and pause this, turn off all the lights down here, and see what it's like. But it can get really, really dark, especially when it's pitch black outside. I don't know if you've ever been outside, out where there's no light. It can be really, really dark. And the absence of light can bring on feelings of fear or a sense of being lost. And it can even paralyze some people, preventing them from ever moving forward or going on. However, even a spot of light can change everything. Hope is restored that you can find your way home through the darkness. And so I want you to take a minute and I want you to share in the class, share what are you most scared of and why. So if you want to go ahead and pause this and share for a minute. Okay, so hopefully you really shared some of your fears. I'll be honest with you. My greatest fears right now are a couple of things, and it's basically death, the fear of the unknown, how we'll die, and the fear of what might happen to my children. Those are really my biggest fears. Now, we're going to look at the Bible here. So go ahead and turn to John chapter 8, verse 12. But do you realize we live in a world that is dark every single day? And I'm not talking about day versus night. I'm talking about spiritual darkness. For most people, the absence of light brings fear, sense of loss, and like I said, it can even paralyze people. And what we have to realize is that spiritual darkness is real. This is exactly how sin affects the world around us. Sin comes into our lives. It consumes us. And we become isolated because we can't see past ourselves. And we don't realize that we're, in fact, not alone. The only way to remove darkness is with light. And if Jesus lives in you, then his light lives in your life. Jesus is the light of the world. In John chapter 8, verse 12, Jesus is making a declaration to the Pharisees that he is in fact the light of the world. And he says, again, Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Jesus is the source. He is the source of light that can push out the darkness. And in its place, he brings us life. Jesus, though, needs something to shine his light through, and that's us. Jesus wants you to bring his light to the world because it's the only cure for darkness. In darkness, we think we are alone, but when we shine our light, it becomes a beacon of hope for those that are around us. It becomes a point for others to follow, and that's why it's important for us to understand that we carry the light of Jesus in us, and it shines in the world. Think about, you're out in the dark, you're lost. What do you start to look around for? A light. And what do? You head towards that light. Turn in your Bibles, if you will, to Matthew chapter 5, Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 through 16. Matthew 5, beginning verse 13. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but put it on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. I'm going to stop right here. And I want you to go ahead and go to the next slide on this PowerPoint. And there's some questions that I want you all to take some time to discuss.